All right, you guys, happy team call night. Thank you guys for the flexibility. I know we usually do team calls on Mondays and, of course, the holiday. So here we are on a Tuesday with a very special guest. I'm stoked to have, and we brought our backwards hat energy. Jared, you're on your phone, you probably can't see everybody, but we're all rocking the backwards hat just for you. But I was just a little background. Like Jared and I connected at Summit, and after he had spoke on stage, and I was just like, telling him what an amazing job he did, and I was like, you're a fit to the Beachbody family. And I really believed, I mean, I think you all believe that, but after talking to him and hearing his story, I was just like, let's get you on a team call. Obviously he's very busy, gets up at like 3 a.m. I'm sure now that body rides are happening so early. So we appreciate your time so much. So I just want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to say congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a wild, 3 days. It's been it's been such a whirlwind, but all good things. Just so excited about the future with her and obviously Beachbody as well. So it's all good things.
That's awesome. We're so happy for you. So I was just gonna kind of open up the call, like icebreaker, just warm things up here, give you some questions that are really lighthearted, just so we can get to know you a little bit better. So I'm just gonna rapid fire these at you, and you can rapid fire your answers back. So what's your favorite color?
Awesome.
What's your favorite?
Wait, sorry, what was that? I broke up there.
What's your favorite color?
It's funny. My favorite color is red because, ever since I was a kid, because it's in my name, Jared. Ever since I was in first grade.
What is your biggest guilty pleasure food?
Oh man, either pizza or a brownie sundae.
Ooh, good choices.
Yeah.
What's your middle name?
Ryan.
If you could collaborate with any current super trainer to do a program with, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'd have to say Sean T, because I feel like we have very similar energy when it comes to that sort of thing. I don't know. And also I always looked up to all the super trainers, but him especially. The dude's an absolute legend and just such a nice, genuine guy. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I would subscribe to that. What's your hometown?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh yes, that is right.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite all-time movie?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'd have to say I really like Anchorman. I don't know. I feel like that's a movie, that or Dumb and Dumber. I feel like when Dumb and Dumber is on TV, it's a movie that I have to watch.
You always watch it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Oh, okay. It's karaoke night. What are you singing?
Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, 100%. That's my go-to because you get everybody involved.
Love it. Cats or dogs?
Dog, 100%. I have a 120-pound lab. His name is Oliver. He's my best friend. Yeah, he's the best.
Well, don't let your fiance hear that. She's your best friend, right?
Well, yeah, my best friend other than her. But he's her best friend as well, so we're all best friends.
Awesome. Flip-flops or tennis shoes?
Ooh, I'm wearing flip-flops right now, and I'm at the beach, so I guess I gotta say flip-flops.
All right, and last one. What's your favorite sports team?
Any Detroit sports team, but right now, since the Lions are starting this week, I guess I'll say the Lions, which is tough because they suck. So I guess it goes to say I'm a pretty loyal person.
Yeah,
almost to a fault.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I was just gonna, before we kind of get into the deeper Q&A, I was just gonna throw it over to you and kind of share. I know some of us were at Summit, some of us know your story, some of us don't. How you came to Beachbody, where the pieces fell into place that brought you to the body cast.
Yeah, it's been a wild 4 years, I guess. 4 years ago, basically my entire life, I've always been sort of out of shape and overweight. And 4 years ago, after a football injury, I was basically referred by my doctor to start cycling. And begrudgingly, I basically took his advice. And after 6 months of cycling, after the injury had healed, I just kind of kept going. After 6 months, I had lost 100 pounds and my life was like forever changed. It was absolutely crazy. It was like I was literally a different person after 6 months. And so, one thing sort of led to another. I started teaching cycling, and then the pandemic happened and I wasn't teaching cycling. And basically, somehow on Instagram, I was teaching at another company on the beach in Santa Monica. And basically, I was found on Instagram by somebody at Beachbody. They asked me to audition, and the next thing I knew, I was on Body, which was absolutely crazy. So yeah, it was just like such a crazy experience, because I never really knew what I was getting into and what was really out there. But it's just one of those things where I just kept cycling and kept loving what I was doing, and doors kind of opened up for me, which has been honestly unbelievable. So that, I guess, like the last year at Beachbody has absolutely blown me away. This entire community is just it's something that I never knew existed, and just like how supportive everybody is and how everybody pulls in the same direction has just literally changed my life. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of your guys' support, and I'm just so blessed and wake up feeling so happy every single day that I'm able to be a part of this whole thing.
Oh, I love it. And if you guys ever get a chance to go on Jared's Instagram, I think your before pictures up there. I feel like I've seen it on there. Am I right? Your before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a few before pictures up there. Yeah.
So pretty inspiring. So go check it out. And that's the thing. I know you talk about in your rides, not that everyone on the call necessarily has a bike or does the cycling, but I think just the power of your story, that you have gone through what so many people that join Beachbody have gone through, like every step of the way. You've had health struggles, injuries, and all of that, and you still persist, and you found something that works for you, which I think is
the craziest thing that I always say is, like, I never in a million years thought that I would even enjoy cycling, because I'm such a team sports guy. Like, I always was into baseball, hockey, basketball, and the fact that I even got into cycling was just like the craziest thing ever. And the fact that I liked it as much as I did was pretty crazy. So yeah, it was something that changed my life forever. And it was literally the last thing that I would ever expect to. So yeah, it's been awesome.
And I think the other piece to that is to trust that sketchy DM sometimes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for those of you who didn't hear the story at Summit, it was the producer at Beachbody. I didn't know her, obviously, and I was like, I had heard of Beachbody before, but I didn't really know that much. And so most of the time I'd delete messages from people that I didn't know, because I didn't have a following, or I had a couple hundred followers or something like that time. And that message changed my life forever. And it just goes to show, like, even the smallest interaction or the smallest situation in your life just answering a DM can literally change the course of your life forever. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little deeper now and kind of put you on the spot.
Yep.
So what do you think you have learned most about yourself since becoming a part of Body and the Body Cast and Team Beachbody?
I got to tell you, I am terrified of public speaking, or at least I was before Beachbody. And so, like, although I would teach classes on the beach or local classes, like, if you were to tell me even 6 months ago that I would be speaking on a stage in front of 10,000 plus people, like, I would have thought I would have said you're absolutely crazy, right? And even getting up on stage, like, it was very nerve-wracking, because I've never done anything like that. But just the fact that happened, like, showed me that, and this, not to sound cocky or whatever, but, like, with the right mindset, you can accomplish anything, and you can basically cross any hurdle that you think is in front of you. So, just being open to the situations and being open to the opportunities as they unfold is probably the biggest thing that I sort of learned over the last year at Beachbody.
Awesome. And do it scared, right? Just do it scared.
Yes, just do it. Say yes. Like, they asked me about it, and I was talking on the phone to Jeffrey, who's like one of the heads of fitness and nutrition. And they asked me on the phone, they're like, "Oh, do you want to do it?" And I was like, yes. So, and it went great.
Yeah.
It went great. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it was phenomenal, by the way. He shut it down. It was, you did amazing. So you wouldn't have known.
I appreciate that.
So we know you for your big energy on the body stage. What's something that keeps you going? Like what keeps you inspired? What brings your energy? Like what is that thing for you?
Yeah. So, a couple years ago when I got into cycling, it was all for me basically, right? It was I wouldn't say selfish, but it was like a self-centered reason why I got into cycling because I wanted to change my life and I was losing all this weight and everything. When I got into teaching, it became not about me, it became about helping other people get to their goals, right? Because like every single day that I get on the stage, I think about the person I was and what it would have meant to me to have somebody reach out on Instagram or, you know, just showing up and being in that moment to sort of like motivate me, right? So like I think about that every single day that I get on the stage is that, you know, I have the opportunity to hopefully play a small role in getting somebody to their goal. And that's what gets me up out of bed every single morning. Like, you know, people say, people talk about, especially when it comes to, teaching classes and things like, there's days where you don't want to show up. For me, every single day that I get to be on that stage is a blessing and I look forward to it. Right. So it's like, people ask me like, how do you stay motivated when it comes to teaching classes? Like there's days where you don't want to show up. And I'm like, I love it. Like I look forward to it every single day. And it's what, like I said, it's what gets me up out of bed every single morning. So I live for it. Like it's getting people to their goals and helping people see what is possible is just, especially coming from a place that I came from, it's just, it's what keeps me going.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I'm just like paralleling everything you're saying to kind of like, I think what so many of us as coaches feel too. Like the thing that keeps us going is that we get to impact others' life based on our story.
Right.
So like,
Hmm.
I love hearing that. Um,
Yeah.
what would be your best advice for someone who's intimidated trying cycling or is a newbie at cycling?
Listen, when I first got into cycling, my doctor told me to try it out to rehab my leg. And when I first did it, I basically looked up, I was a member of a gym and I looked up the cycling room schedule for like the classes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to go in when nobody else is there and I'm just going to do my own workout. Right. So, like, when you talk about like being intimidated, like to me, I was so intimidated. Like, and even when I started in the classes, I was in the back row. Right. So, what I would say though is that like nobody knows what resistance you're on. Nobody knows how fast you're going, especially on body. Like you're in the comfort of your own home. Try it out. Like, and the cool thing about body is that like even if cycling isn't for you, there's so many other options, right? There's a million programs and a million classes going on the platform every single day. But like cycling literally changed my life and it saved my life in a lot of aspects. Like I have a family history of heart disease. My dad literally 6 months after my transformation. So like a year after I started cycling, my dad basically had to have open heart surgery, and like all of the men in my family have a history of heart disease. I had a grandpa who passed away from a heart attack, and an uncle, and a great uncle. So like seeing my dad go through that was just like such a reminder of like if I don't keep going on this path, this could happen to me, right? So like, that when you kind of like talked about your why and things like that, like for me, that's also a huge part of it, right? Like, and it's such a big issue, obviously, across many families. It impacts so many people with heart disease and things like that, and cycling is so good for your heart, right? And cardio and everything like that. So that's also like why I keep going every single day as well. It's because like seeing him in the hospital was like it was very difficult. So yeah, I remember that every single day.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah. Um, yeah, we're always combating a lot of stuff like that in our family
Yeah,
genetically, or it's a lot, and it's like being
yeah,
proactive is the best thing you can do for sure. Um,
100%.
what's okay? What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you when you were filming?
Oh man, I say dumb stuff all the time. I just I'm surprised that like they give me a microphone. By the way, like I don't know. I just like I sort of have like sometimes have like a blueprint on how I'd like things to go, but a lot of the times I just end up like saying things that come to mind. Um, Most embarrassing. I don't know. I think that as dumb as it sounds, like being on camera has taught me to not be embarrassed, if that makes sense. Like, I think that like, I think very often about like purpose driven why, right? So like my, like when I think about my purpose and showing up on the bike is to help people. So if, as long as I'm accomplishing that, as long as I'm like helping people and at least trying to, like whatever I do on that stage, it doesn't really matter because like that doesn't, it's in the background. What matters the most is that I'm out there and trying to do my best. So, and I think that is also what helped me get over my fear of public speaking, right? Because like it's less about me, it's more about everybody who's taking the class. So, yeah,
Taking the ego out of it. I love that.
exactly, exactly.
What was the thing? I know you kind of touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but what's the thing like once you joined Beachbody, what's the thing that surprised you the most about the company itself? Or I guess what were also some like misinterpretations you had about Beachbody before coming to the fam?
I didn't know much about Beachbody. When I was in when I was in high school, I was on the baseball team, and this was years and years and years ago. And one of my teammates came up to me after practice one day, and again, like I was very overweight, like not really big into like lifting. I was more into team sports. And a buddy of mine goes, "Dude, I saw this infomercial the other day for P90X. Come over to my basement. Let's get like after practice one day. Let's get jacked." And I like went over to his place and it killed me. It absolutely killed me. And that was the last time I ever did it. Which, like, again, my mindset was a lot different back then. But so like fast forward, 15 years or whatever, and I ended up working for the company, which is crazy. And so like I didn't have necessarily a lot of like basis to go off of, you know what I mean?
Like,
But I think that
body, like that was your correlation.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd say like the biggest thing that surprised me is just like how tight the community is, right? Like it literally is a team and like everybody's pulling for each other, and you don't see that a lot in society, especially these days. So like having this community, like this little, I don't want to say little because it's a huge organization, but like this bubble of people where like every single person is pulling for each other, and it's not bullshit. People aren't blowing smoke. People actually legitimately care about everybody. And like, that's the coolest thing because, when things can be very divided, especially in society, like knowing that all these people from different backgrounds all coming together to, achieve not necessarily a common goal, but like similar goals and whatever, like that's just so huge to me. So, yeah, it blew me away. And by the way, like as somebody who's new to the organization, who like this organization's been around for 20 plus years or whatever, like as somebody who's brand new and just like seeing how welcoming everybody was, and like people literally just like welcomed me with open arms, like that meant so much to me because like I was a total newbie. So that's been great.
Awesome. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, this is a more of a light question, not so heavy for you, but what's something you've recently crossed off your bucket list? I'm going to say besides proposing to the love of your life.
Yeah. Yes.
What's
Yeah.
something else?
I'd say, speaking at Summit was crazy. Like that, like, I was joking around. So I get on stage, I do my thing, and then Michael, oh my God, now I'm like blanking on his last name.
Michael Neiman.
Neiman, thank you for that. I don't know why I just like had a brain fart. Michael Neiman gets on stage and is like, "Man, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody who is like more high energy than Jared." Like before getting on stage, literally before I got on stage, it was just me and him back there because Carl wrapped up and he ended up leaving. I was like doing push-ups, I was doing jumping jacks, like getting all hype, and he introduced me. I ran off onto the stage, and like I was supposed to have like a little clicker thing to like go through the slides, and I just like totally blew past the lady. And so like just like that experience was like, I was just so excited. It was so amazing. But like also, I had never taught a non-cycling fitness class before, and being able to lead the warm up for super workout was amazing as well. So
Awesome.
that was really cool.
All right, this kind of leads into my next and final question for you. So what's next? Are we getting a Jared program? What's next in your scheme of things? Like what's next for you?
Listen, I'm enjoying the process, right? Like the thing that I've learned during the last 4 years, oh man, there's like an ambulance or something. The thing that I've learned the last 4 years is just like, if I'm doing things that I love and having fun and working hard and just giving everything I can, like somehow doors will open. And I think it's just like always about getting uncomfortable, doing as much as you can, and really saying yes to a door that opens, even though it may scare you, right? So as far as what's next, I'm just seeing what happens. I would love to have a program, obviously, but if that doesn't happen, like I can't be mad because I'm just loving every single step of the way. And obviously, the more noise that everybody else can make for me, like obviously, I love it. But again, like that's not what this is about. This is about helping more people. This is about expanding the reach and really just like being an ambassador for cycling as much as possible because it literally saved my life. And whatever I can do to open up those doors for other people, like that's really what it's about. So I'd say it's not really what's next for me. It's about what's next for all of you.
Yeah.
On that front, for sure.
Oh, love it. It's like just enjoying the ride. Like just
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, like it sounds like I was at a dead end job that I hated. I was 100 pounds overweight, and like now I am doing what I love every single day for a living. And like, sure, like I just opened up my own business, the Sun Cycle. So it's like this cycling business on the beach, but like being able to leave my job that I hated and do this opened the door up for me more for Beachbody. So like I'm able to teach more on Beachbody because I left all that. And like I said, I'm just enjoying the ride and loving being able to do what I love every single day. So yeah.
Well, that is literally right there. What is why I wanted you to speak, like, because of the parallels, like I said, between what we do as coaches, even though we're partnered with Beachbody, we don't have our own business necessarily, but like we still have those decisions to make in our life. Like we can stay stuck or we can run with this opportunity that we have as coaches. And
right.
It's the same for you, even though your path was different. It's the same exact thing. So I love
right.
So well, thank you again so much, Jared. Like we've been looking forward to so much. So I just appreciate you. I'm going to make it my view bigger really quick, and I'm going to take a picture really quick. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Since we all got our backwards hats on, you probably can only see 4 faces at a time.
Yeah, I'll turn mine back.
There we go. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, we appreciate you. We're going to see you on Tour de France all month long.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I would say though, like, sorry, I know we're kind of wrapping up, but I just want to like sort of extend it again. Like anything that I can do for any one of you, like, please reach out to me. Like, I want to be as much of a resource for you. Like I said before, helping people is what gets me up out of bed every single morning. Right. So like the more I can help you guys, if you guys ever have any questions about cycling, just fitness in general, I just got my CPT. So like now I'm a certified personal trainer, like anything that I can do to help you guys or point you guys in the right direction, don't hesitate, because this is why I do what I do. And this is why I love Beachbody and being a part of this organization. So love it. Yeah.
Okay, well, if we couldn't love Jared anymore, there we go. He just mic drop. Seriously, you've been so gracious through just like connecting and getting this call together. So I just appreciate you so much. I know you have a ton going on. So thank you again from all of us.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. Have a good one, guys. All right.
Bye.
See ya.